If you're trying to make sense out of a worksheet that has formulas in it, it's going to be really handy if you can see all of the formulas at once. Now we can certainly see that there's a formula in cell B7. Simply click on the cell, we see that in the formula bar. And of course we can double click a cell too to see the formula within a cell. But we might want to see all the formulas at once. There's no standard way to do this, but there is a keystroke shortcut and also a menu command that will allow you to get to this capability quickly. In cell C1, I've depicted what's on one of the keys typically found in the upper left corner of most keyboards. The symbol on top is called tilde. The one below it is usually referred to as accent grave from the French. But as a keystroke shortcut, don't use the shift key, but do use the control key and press that key on your keyboard. Control tilde, I'll call it. And what happens? All column widths have been doubled, and wherever there's a formula, we see the formula. For example, in cell E5. And also in cell D13. If you press Control tilde again, we're back to a normal display. There are times, and I use this frequently when I'm doing troubleshooting on certain worksheets, Control tilde doubles the width of columns as it exposes formulas, or it takes us back to normal. And the reason this feature doubles the width of columns is to give us a better opportunity to see the formula. Still isn't foolproof though. If you notice that in cell D13, which is currently selected, we still can't see the entire formula here. What you might also want to consider doing in these situations, particularly if you know the worksheet is valuable and you're going to be working with it for a bit, or if you want to absorb its content faster, what we might do is click in the upper left corner and then double-click any column boundary. This will readjust all column widths, and then we could print the worksheet in its current form. And when you do that, it would be a good idea to also display the column letters and the row numbers as well. Then use that as a source of documentation. So if we press Control tilde, we'll go back to normal. And since we did readjust the column widths when the columns were wider, we'll want to do this again, clicking in the upper left-hand corner. It's probably still selected anyway. Then double-click any column boundary between the letters, and we're back to so-called normal display. You'll also find this feature in the menu, but it's easy to overlook, and they do refer to the other symbol that's on that same key, that so-called accent grave. So from the ribbon, go to the Formulas tab, and you will see the choice called Show Formulas. Notice that the pop-up tip below it does refer to the other symbol, and you could easily overlook that. It doesn't refer to the tilde, it refers to the other one. But no matter how you view this keystroke shortcut, though, remember it's Control tilde, Show Formulas, or the keystroke shortcut. Now, a companion, but certainly a different feature to what we've just seen, is the idea that you might want to highlight all the cells in this worksheet that have formulas. The key first step here is to make sure you've got only one cell selected. If you have 2 or 3 or 4 cells selected, for example, if we are about to use this feature, it will only search within the selected cells. So somewhat counterintuitively, we will click on one cell, and then from the Home tab in the ribbon, the extreme right button, the Find and Select button, the binoculars, click it and choose Formulas. And all cells that have formulas in this worksheet are currently highlighted. Now, before clicking anywhere, what you might want to consider doing is applying a color to all these so you remember which cells have formulas. We can do that simply from the Home tab, the Fill Color bucket right here. Give it a color that's light enough for the text to show through it. I'll just use this tan color right here. And as we zoom back a little bit, we know at a glance where the formula cells are, the ones that have this tan color. Now the feature is not dynamic. If we were to write a new formula here, it's not going to turn tan. Or if we erase this formula here, it will continue to stay tan. So from time to time, you will want to run the feature again to make sure that it's up to date. A companion to this is the idea that you might want to highlight all of the cells that have pure numbers in them, not formulas, but just pure numbers. Here too, begin with the active cell in a single location, and then on the Home tab, choose Find and Select, then Go to Special. And in the Go to Special dialog box, choose Constants, but then uncheck the boxes for text, logicals, and errors. Click OK, and now we've selected these. And similarly, as we did with formulas, we might want to choose a contrasting color here. I'll use a light blue. There we are. And so in this worksheet, the light blue cells are those that contain pure numbers. The tan cells are those that contain formulas. So it really helps you figure out what's going on in a worksheet. And the more you work with these two features, and its predecessor, where we were able to highlight the formulas, you'll have a much better capability for understanding and working with worksheets that have formulas.